I will take up a Pathfinder problem for discussing bound free charge, some useful concepts for competitive exam, and also try to discuss this problem, not solve this problem, but discuss this problem. There is a dielectric material with thickness D, surface area is A. I write the question briefly in the description also, but I try to explain it. And there is a mercury drop on the top. The mercury drop has a very small surface area. This is the surface area of the plate of the dielectric. So dielectric is like this. This is a dielectric, and in between you have placed a mercury drop with small surface area A, and this is the surface area of this dielectric is capital A. Capital A is very large as compared to A. This is D, that is the width of dielectric. At the bottom of dielectric you have put a paint which is of conducting material. These two are then connected to a supply line which can give variable voltage, and we start gradually raising the voltage and we reach certain level, say V0, and that time mercury, and this voltage is raised very slowly. So basically what you are doing when you are raising voltage slowly, you are slowly supplying the charge from the battery. So mercury spreads on the top of the dielectric. We have to find at what value of V0 the mercury will spread on the top of it will cover the whole surface of the dielectric. And ER is the relative permittivity of the dielectric. Clarity, relative permittivity multiplied by permittivity of free space gives you the permittivity of the material. So it is the permittivity of material which is important. And relative permittivity is also written as dielectric constant K, but you will find difficulty while doing Erudov problem. They have their own notation which is not as per our books. Now coming to the problem, what happens here is why we have taken mercury and why the language says metal conducting paint. Because I need a conductor. I need two conductors to make a capacitor. In between conductors you can provide dielectric, but conductors have to be there at the two ends. And why it spreads? It spreads because of the charge which is supplied here, and you have opposite charge here. So there is some force which is splitting the mercury drop into a sheet. So there is supply of energy by the battery. There is some energy in the drop initially, which is the surface energy, and there will be some energy in the capacitor which will be formed later on. So it is basically playing with the different types of energy and how do we equate each of them. But there are certain critical things which we should know while solving this problem. I'll go couple of points I'll cover which are beyond the problem. Now in a capacitor with a dielectric, remember few points that first of all there is requirement of two conductors, and the two conductors here are finally formed by the spread sheet of mercury. This is that mercury and this is that paint, but both are conductors. Material here doesn't matter, both are conducting materials, means they supply free electrons easily. On the contrary, dielectric shows not a lot of, we can say it does lot of problem while supplying, means it doesn't supply free electrons. It has dipoles which get organized. There is a separate lecture it you can see there. So if there is a supply and this supply is supplying positive charge here and negative charge here, and this has to come from somewhere, it will come only from the battery. And at certain moment battery has voltage V and it has supplied the charge Q. This charge Q comes to this conductor and this conductor. The whole charge goes to this side of the plate and this side of the plate in the conductor because of the attraction. Otherwise it would have equally spread had the plate been isolated, or you supply some charge equally spread. But here it gets concentrated on this surface and this surface. So this charge density on this surface is Q upon A plus, and here it is minus Q upon A. And this is the free charge Please remember, the charge supplied by us which accumulates on the conducting material's surface is the free charge for us for solving the problems. Here you have bound charge density. This is the free charge density and this is the bound charge. It is positive, so it is negative here. Minus sigma b, minus sigma b, minus sigma b. I am just going beyond, slightly beyond the problem, because some people may comment that it can be done in seconds. Yes, it can be done in seconds if I straight away apply the formula, but I don't want to do that. This material has permittivity of E and there is an electric field here. One way of calculating this electric field is simply there is a potential difference here between these two. And another interesting thing here is that these two layers are actually merging. There is a common, they meet, they are not separate. So whatever potential is here, same potential here, same potential is here. So if it is V1, it is V2. V1 is higher potential, V1 minus V2 is this voltage V which we have supplied. And it is because of these voltage differences that you have this electric field. So dV is equal to E dot dr. Very useful formula. So electric field is the potential difference which is V upon the distance d. Now how do I link this electric field with these various kind of complex charges which I have written? Now in case of dielectric, you have Gauss law of dielectric, which says as E dot ds times K. K is nothing but same dielectric constant or relative permittivity is Q free, that is important, upon epsilon naught. So Q free. Now if I take Gauss law here, I apply Gauss law applied in dielectric. What is the charge here enclosed by this Gaussian surface? Free charge enclosed. One is free charge, one is bound charge. I am talking about the free charge. Free charge is Q upon A charge density into this ds is the free charge enclosed by this Gauss surface. This is that Q free I need, and let me now apply. So E is equal to Q free is Q upon A dot ds. ds will get cancelled, or let me write before I cancel it. E dot ds Q ds upon A upon epsilon naught epsilon r. So E is equal to Q upon A 1 upon epsilon, which is epsilon naught epsilon r. Again you will say that, some may say that it will come with a very short formula. It will come, but I wanted to cover the logic. That is how we cover the logic. Why I am doing this? I want to find out charge supplied in terms of the voltage. Now I have this E as V upon D and E as this, which is from the Gauss law of dielectric. So this is V upon D. So I get value of Q as A epsilon V upon D. Very important and very useful formula. Epsilon is epsilon naught into epsilon r, or epsilon naught into K. This is the permittivity of the medium, which is relative permittivity multiplied by the permittivity of the free space. This formula you can note down. It is same which I had written earlier, VSA. I had written so that I don't forget to remind you. You can just note down in your book. And this formula you can relate in situations where you take this now, rather than seeing whole complex thing, just see it as a capacitor. There is a capacitor which is connected to the battery, which is supplying voltage V at a given moment. So the charge which has come to the capacitor is A epsilon V upon D, and this voltage was increased gradually from 0 to V, and charge has gradually accumulated here. And this is a capacitor with the dielectric. Now I can again go by detailed method, and I can again do the shorter method. This time I'll prefer the shorter method because detailed method was to give you this feel. And one more point I wanted to tell. In this problem it may be asked that what is the charge at the layer where the mercury meets the dielectric. I have written separate charges. These are the separate charges. What is the common charge? Find out yourself. It can be asked, find out the common charge at the meeting points. Refer to one H.C. Verma problem where there are two plates and there is a liquid and that liquid is rising. There also that issue is dealt. That can be the additional point. Now one is the shorter method of doing it, and let me cover both the methods. One is shorter method and one is the longer method. I should take it away. This is already covered. So now let me take it as the longer method or the detailed method. Now in the longer method, because where the logic is applied, the energy in any region is given, if it is free space, epsilon naught E square upon 2, that is electric field in this free space. But when there is a dielectric, write like this, epsilon electric field in the dielectric region by 2 per unit volume multiplied by volume V, and in this case the volume is surface area into D. This is the energy, electrical energy present in this region where there is a dielectric. In fact, everywhere there is a dielectric. When the points have met, everywhere there is a dielectric. So one is this method. Another method of writing the electrical energy is short. Basically both are short, I think. Is Q square upon twice C when you see it as a capacitor. Don't go into the nitty-gritties. Just see it as a capacitor, and my value of this is the value of the energy stored in the capacitor. What is the value of Q? Value of Q here we have found is A square, Q square I am doing, epsilon square V square upon D square upon 2. And what is the value of capacitor? This capacitor, when there is a dielectric, it is epsilon R epsilon naught A upon D. This is the value of the capacitance when there is a dielectric. Epsilon naught R I always prefer to write as epsilon to avoid any errors. So value of C, if you add here, EA upon D. So this becomes A epsilon A, this gets cancelled, this gets cancelled, V square, this gets cancelled upon twice D. And here what is the value of E? E we know, we have found directly from here, because Q also we have found from this formula. E is V upon D, so epsilon upon 2 into A into D, and value of E was V upon D, so V square upon D square, so it comes E A, this gets cancelled, V square upon twice D. So this is the energy in the capacitor, or in the electric field I said, and this is the energy in the capacitor, both are same. So you can use any method. Now this is the energy which is stored in the capacitor, whether you find by this formula or that formula, but be careful how you apply everything, because electric field in space is different than as compared to electric field in the region where there is a dielectric. So you should know what is the value of electric field in the region where there is a dielectric, and then use epsilon of the dielectric. I think this is more comfortable, because here there are chances of error. There are chances of error here. What is the energy supplied by the battery? Now let me go to the in the systems approach. So this is a system. Let me go in the systems approach. This is a capacitor, which is a system. It has surface energy because of Mercury. That is, the surface area of Mercury is twice A. It has two layers, up and below, and surface tension is T. You can take sigma, but sigma will conflict with my sigma, so I don't take sigma. This is the value of the surface energy which is there in the Mercury, and this whole system has two parts. Another part is the capacitor, which has this energy, plus A epsilon V square upon twice T. Since the initial energy of Mercury is ignored, is tending to 0, so this is the increase in energy, delta U, or U2 minus U1. Initial energy was 0, this is the final energy, and this is the energy from where it has come. Battery has supplied that energy. How battery has supplied that energy? Battery had supplied that energy based on the charge which flows through the battery. And when it is said that charge flows to the battery very slowly, and we have reached the value of V0. So the energy which is supplied by the battery is Q. V0 is the voltage which I have achieved times Q. And what is the value of Q is? Everywhere I will now write V0. V0, I have reached the voltage V0. So energy supplied by the battery is V0 times Q is A epsilon V0 upon D. This energy goes as the energy in the capacitor and the energy in the surface energy in the drops. So this is nothing but V0 square. So I get twice AT as A epsilon V0 square upon twice D. So A gets cancelled. So I get value of V0 square as 4T D upon epsilon is nothing but ER and epsilon naught. So V0 is square root of this. This is the voltage at which the mercury has spread over the entire surface.